We're going to spend this afternoon working on projects, but first we just want to go over what the rest of class kind of looks like.
And the matong la ya ane nga su zinda ta jigin ma khashina tlen zinda kana do chi yome ko la ya ne tabdi chita yens.
So something you might notice on the schedule we posted is that we do have an assessment planned on the last day. So I want to talk about why we want to do that.
Ta de la tabai bana de ta Google Class na tele sha yor ra. De na ne tanda nima thama de la ya yang cheship chia ta jikto do chi ta ge chi yore swa. So the
sustainability years have been based off the Society for Neuroscience's core concepts for neuroscience.
And kurum digasugurata koge shi shasade ane tanda wansa tsenrik tunso sesach toga tege ne kuto nyembu je sech gorwa detala shi shade tanga digores.
So those core concepts were just formed by a committee of the Society for Neuroscience, but that's not the only way to create learning concepts for a discipline.
That take a resena than the wansa tsenrik tunso sesade kutsugunane that sopa chicken taken on the social Kuzusha Rua. Ebanaya once at Heritan Devi, Janayagi, Georgette Zuala, Chimchikusuti, Nanshan Ruguay, or Maricenda Yores.
So Michael, who is teaching the nuns right now, shared with us these community-based neuroscience concepts that were developed in the United States.
Again, Michael, and the Chula Zugan Zendela Tinukuran Baina. Ne arilaya ne ta chodela shisha dete ane wansa henrike dutsu tuzuma triage trithep tinda khachi dus gela ngasulung gotoche sons.
So these concepts were created by surveying hundreds of neuroscience faculty until they had agreement of a core set of concepts that they thought all neuroscience classes should cover.
Ta tekare sistambalaya kusu te zoya te so de once Henry Hopper the once again Gigin Chemor, once Henry Trini Gigin Chemot in the Jatra Kashilaya, and a Kutsu Gonsu Sonage Kasa Shot Gonsu Sonage Shot in a Dotan, and a Kutsu Gonsula Shisha de, and it once Henry Janich in Baina, and a Kujushin de Taganlaya, she could do say Kutsu dus Tila Shisha de Gonsula Shisha de Tatanal Pejit in the Chires.
So we would like to write a teaching neuroscience paper about if these community concepts are working in this format that we're doing for ETSI. So the assessment we made are some questions that connect our concepts in class to these core community concepts. So we're asking you to take it so we can get a little bit of data for this paper.
Tata dina ne su kari ore system balaya ane tan zendana janju data ane phini ta chodel shisha pi kusutan la pechu ya joshe khachi ro data ka parola ya chin dewa kan do yo metan dewa kan sthit kundum dugla sopate res ta dina ne ngaso la ya ane tangthu chi ragre ane tangthu data tanda chesum chi trigin se gwa o dilai dus pechu ta gi chastang yores.
Yeah, so it shouldn't be something that's stressful or that you spend a lot of time and energy on. We just want to get a quick assessment of how we're doing in this class.
That and the date chichipa in Bana Yanchika Secret, Yanchika, some train on Tonshima, Chichine Chasparis in Banda, that day, Masuga and the once Henry Trip and Dill attended the day, and a deal attended the Chetsu Candas, Jan Dumu Delaya, and it is Tashicha, Chita, Jumbo Jumbo Tashicha, get Tapchich Tandeta, and the Jesuit Tayens.
Okay, the main assessment are these group teaching demonstrations that you're going to develop. So Kristen's going to go over our expectations for that with you.
Ta tanda di jila karsena tanda chechu ta rukha gu yoro rukha gu la ya jo chirapa re te ta thamate le chechu jinde thigu gu yorwa ta jinde thya ti ge kap srwa ta again Christian lage ane ta chechu ge jinde de thibi kap se ane kari kari la ya tuna chi go bata nga su ngone chechu ge la rewatch kari chi chi ge mete ge la nguto chi gres oh No, PDF. No, there's a PDF. Can you go back?
We added stuff.
Oh.
We're going to talk about it right now, so you can just translate it live.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do.
Well, I said you're going to sound
Okay. All right.
Put you on the spot.
Yes. Okay. Great. So, just a little bit more information about the presentation that. So you're going to develop a teaching lesson about the topic that you chose.
Da tanda de la ya chisuga tamshe ti ko la ya chi center chi gu ti ko la ya ke chaka chi shegi yeswa ti kar sena ta tanda chechu ge joji shi ta pa chi dam sha yorwa ote ga tele chechu ge lonsen thya gi chango chi go da lonsen chi thik go yorwa ote ko la ya ni ke chi ti shegi yes.
And the presentation we're asking for should be about 30 minutes, which means that given that we expect somewhere between 15 to 20 PowerPoint slides for this presentation.
Ta tanda de chechu ge tamshe chi ati lonsen thya ti karma sumchi screen la ya tamse thya ti res tin stamba la ya chechu ge tanda PowerPoint ro lokto nyen ri te zo be ka sim ba na ani nyen ri ten da chung ani ni shus ko parola ya yo ya wa chi yes.
There is a requirement, actually, can you scroll down to the English for me real quick? To the English part? So I can remind myself what I wanted to say? Okay, right, so in these, so I'm talking about some best practices for giving presentations, and hopefully if you look back at the PowerPoint slides that Aminda and I both put together, hopefully you will see some of these things that we're asking for modeled in those slides.
Ta tanda de stamba ya ta lokto nyen ri zo de tan tan zende dus thigu yor wa ta tanda de ka sunga su ge ta yang ko keche shebi kapsa ta tamche chi kapsa dus tambi kapsa ya chi chechu kare kare yo pati kha chi dus deshe ja ge yes ro chi chi bai bai na tanda gen la ngaran ji ge dus thi sha ya ge ya lokto nyen ri te ta la chechu yang chi je la ya shirmu chi ta bai bai na te na la ya chechu la guya ge cha chin tuzun dus yo gres.
For example, it's good practice to develop a set of learning objectives for this particular lesson.
Ta picha sha bai bai na ta chechu lonsen chi trigger wal lonsen te tribi kapsa tampu te la ya ni lonsen te trage mgi di kari ba te tampu khra tre te yang ke chambres.
As well, to develop an engaging presentation, you will also know that it's more engaging to use graphics that describe what you're talking about as opposed to slides full of words.
Ta yang ko chi tamche chi be kaps ta nyemba pu ge tangwa tin rang ge chet ro tu no tin rang ge chet ani chi chik chang 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 mai ba tangwa rang ge chet ani rimbo re tinang sing ge ani per re tinang sing ge thri la sok pa yang go thuna ya go res.
Related to that idea, it's important to think about your audience and what your audience knows about the topic.
Da te ko la samlo tang be kaps thesa ti ro ka she shesa ti la samlo tang go res ta ke she shesa ti la samlo tang se tam bala ya ke che shesa ti ge joshi ti gang la ya kari singi yo me ti ko la samlo tang go res.
So providing some background information about your particular topic might be useful for the audience that you're speaking to.
Ta tin stambala ya ani tanda chorong ge tamshe chia ti ge joshi ti ge jabjung ge shisha zo ya jabjung ge shisha rob chi ngoto chi pai ba na ya jandala phambu jung res.
So in choosing graphics or models that you want to use to explain some of this information, you might want to incorporate appropriate labels or arrows or boxes to highlight sections of the graphic that might be useful to emphasize the point you want to make.
Da tanda dinan ro deshe jabe kaps sugro ada su thalun kanan ro peche tang yo me ta tigana ne par ta thirla sopa atachu ko ngoto chibi kapse yang tingna ni ke chechong la sopa yang chin dewa taksa la sopa yorwa te kapse bana yang ko chi chontra tanguna re te gana yang ko taja guna re ke chembu yosati ngonsu topo zoya la sopa tus chepa ina yang yago yores.
As you've been learning in your classes about pedagogy, you're very aware of different active learning techniques in the classroom, and we are hoping that you'll be able to demonstrate one or more than one of those in this teaching lesson.
Tadanda chesu lote rupa ge subjong te chobi kapsi bana chesu hurjung ga thalung khachi dus mangbu chi jang yores tin stambalaya na tanda chesu ga tamche chin zende de tripi kapse chita yang na chili mawa tinda hurjung ga thalung chita chili mawa tezu yang chesu ga pecho ta thwela yari wa chi yes.
They don't have to be, these active learning techniques don't have to be elaborate, of course. You can think about techniques like think, pair, share, or quick formative questions asked to the group, things like that.
Ta yang ko kasa tajiu maimba ra tajiu yi magu gana yang asu hurjung ga tablan tinda yores pisha shana ane nga su samdruk she simchiyo a tinda dawa tanga yang mena yang ko shaja tuwa tanga de tanga tuwa tila len jak jiga la supayo ra o tito to specha tanga digres.
An additional requirement of this presentation is to present some data that supports or informs the audience about the topic.
Ta shenda de la ya chachinchi kari sangore se stambala ya ane chorong ga zenda de la tribi kapsa chorong ga joji tang dewa yo pataya na joji la japchu chia ge tangthu tinda daw yang tengu yo res.
And so speaking specifically about what we're asking for here is data from a peer-reviewed journal article.
Ta danda de kasa tangthu sa de kari sagore se stambala ya ne ko kasa de simji ke chongi imba kanskila ya nanyam ge jerse chi chawa sagura jerse chi chaju che ane ko tanda twitap tinda do ke chembo ga ya ko chaju ge tinda tingnani tombi ge tangthu ti gu yo res.
And more specifically, so once you've identified a research article that you think might be useful for explaining this topic, we're really interested in you presenting maybe one figure or two figures max from that article, not the whole entire article itself.
Ta ke tis tarwa che chu ge joshi tan dawa yo chu ge yang ko somi ge yabu tin ro nye suna ani tigna ne ta par tin da yo ro ko ge dawa yo chu par tin ro chig ta yang na ni o tin da wo chu chu ge yang ka so ge ta tam she ge na tle chu de ta ngoto chi ya la ya riwa chi ge yes ta de tin da ro chi riwa chi ge yo ma to pe yang somi kanza tus na tle de khion de ta ngoto chi ya tin da la ro chi ge mes.
Yeah, that's right here. So I was going to show you an example of how you can incorporate data into your teaching presentation. So I showed you an experiment from an article about error correction.
Da tanda pichi shabai na ngoma zenta tripi kapsa lokto nyen rig nang la ya ani notru yusang chiwa tan dewi ge ko zomi chkana ne yang khaching dus long tang wa dus chesulong ngoto chi yores.
This article itself had 5 or 6 figures in it, and as I was reading through it, I wanted to find the one piece of data that I thought would be most important and most critical for you to be able to think about and understand about the experiment around error correction in birds.
Ta tanda de shimji ku sogi de ta ba imba na ko na la ya ani ta pir tinda nga tu chi dos imba na te na ne ta ko ta de ta chi damsi ta de karila shi sha yin la ba ina ani ta zomi te kanza chi ta chera de tanda zomi ki ge joshi ro nga so no tu yu sang tan de wa se go ro no tu yu sang tan de we ge ne tun ti ta chi 차츠마 치 촌트가 서거 다 데고 콜라야 야부치 촌트니게 아니 비르티 담치데데 두스코요스.
So wait for it.
Shoo jobs.
Yeah, it doesn't really want to do it. So, oh, okay, yeah, great. No, you just had it. This, yeah. So scroll down, scroll. Keep going. A little bit further. Here, stop here. Okay, so in introducing this topic, this information about error correction, I started with a figure as well as like the hypothesis and how they were thinking about testing this hypothesis.
Ahada tandage ju notri usong ta dreve de kola imbaina phajono neta kare khusuge kare chiore se de la imbaina roa ane tambu de la ya khusu de tan dreve ki pir chiyo pati chale ane digna ne ya ko choja kare imbarwa choja kare imba ne takshe kare chigo barwa o te dus tabdi chigo yes digna ne.
Okay. Then I have a whole other slide just on the experimental design for this one figure, showing a couple of graphics that would help for the understanding of the experimental design.
Da tin yibate kare system bala taksen de tan drive ge takse ge gopa ti motor chiya ge chet ane ko parchita ane digna la chu gopa kare imbate chikten sha yes.
And then I slowly worked through the experimental design and also noticed that the figure from the paper we annotated it to make it a little bit more clear about what the data were going to, how you were going to look at the data here versus the data here, using colors, etc., to help the students be able to understand the data really quickly.
Ta lotu chu la ya tanda tanthu kha chi twen ba ti swa ta chi lil ho go ne to ya gi che ta ha ko ya gi che to ane ko phajo de la ya ko a b c d la tri ba ta ya na chon tha man ro ko ba ta chu jok ta phajo ten shen rewa kari yo pa lil ho go de thong ya gi che ta wa ni tanda gi de ka re se na gang la ya chu ja che te o la ya tak se gi ko pa de do a ti go la ya na khu chu gi trim ji gi tanthu de ta yong do wa dus ko sha yes.
And then again, so still sort of walking through this data correctly, we scroll up to the actual data figure. Then finally talking about the data figure, using arrows, etc., to sort of draw your attention to what I wanted you to notice about these data.
Da de nane ko karsagore ta tangthu te ta tangthu de nane khapar de che chu to no to go sa ta ani karich la riwa chi go me ta chi ta muksati ko la makin ji me te ko la ya de la ya chi tan sha yes.
And then lastly, the last slide is really the conclusion about those data. So I spent 5 slides talking about this one experiment, step by step. And yeah, so.
Ta de ngawa de na la kare se na simji te tan dewe ge ko ge thadam te re swa ta dan da de ta ba ba na kare chi ore se na chi pangram chi le ro chi tan da ge ta ko nyen ri ma so na nga do ro nga ge na la ne pangram chi de tan da de ge simji de kare ko ri me to ri chi lu ko sha yo res.
So if you want to take a data figure and change the labels, only show part of the data, only show one panel out of the whole figure, that is your choice because you're in charge of the teaching lesson. So you can really take apart the figure to present it in the best way for your audience.
Ta chesu gen zenta to sta ta se shinji ke simji ji khiong da ta te na ne ta zenta do se tripi kaps te na ne ane chi khusu ke tang thu na ne kangi chi ngon su to pu zu gi be ta kangi chi tengi yem ta su su tan do chu su ko ra khashi ngon su to pu zu khashi ku ra ja lo ye ki na ko ro wa te ta te ane chesu la ya ka su ko re ta te ge top tan ta wan se te ore su su kar chi chi re sta zo te ka re se sta bala ya zenta la te tripi kaps chi kan ya ya tang kha kan se se chi to ya te res.
And so then lastly, you were really going to want to hear how and why you think this data supports or extends your topic, right? So you were really going to want to tie the experiment to whatever your topic is.
Ta thama tela kare yo chi go se na tanda ta che chu ge chi tanda ge takse simji chi ke tutan tu dese ja go ro tela tene de ta che rang ge dese ja ge joshi chi go ro o tela ya dewa kandas dus 어디 가세요 거는 고야 때려지기스.
Okay, so we've developed this rubric that we're going to score your presentations on, and it starts, the first is on organization and clarity.
아하. 다다다데 최초의 담시집이 값스 다 담시 지야들라야 자체테 바이나 자체테 땅게 대치 고득지 샤이스 미세 르무치 고득지 샤이스 다 땅포티가 레스 담발라야 최초의 담시 지야되게 차상의 고득 땅 카셀로디레스.
The second is going to be on your figures and your graphics. Are they appropriate for the audience that you're teaching? So are they appropriate for your monastic colleagues?
아하, 다 니와 띵나나 카리오레스 담발라야 저런 거 담시 지야되게 제때 담샤주기 비르레 파레 티난징기 계획 배치 땅알라 소바테 아니 저런 거 담시 지사때 땅 지금 참부도엠도 디코레스.
You'll need to be able to convey your topic through clear communication, and that the topic itself is linked back to the overall big picture of language and vocal communication.
아하. 아니 대오 어딜라야 카레스나 저런 거 대세자고 요바다 저런 거 조시티 아니 가서게 왕서 생리게 고또 임부 단디 찰라에 뚝바들와 뚝바디 tan drewa kariyo me tan drewa understanding me te khase ugures.
You're going to get evaluated on your use of primary research as supporting your topic, and then lastly on using active learning practices in the presentation.
아하 다 젠다티 카레스 담발라야 저런게 담시 지위 값 아니 조데 고 생리게 세탄담바게 심지기 좀이 때라로 배쳤던 요메로와 어딜라 시샤 자체치테그레 아니 타마텔라야 아니 저런 거 전레트비 값 고 흐중기 탈렌트즈 배쳤던 요메텔라야 틸 자체테그레스.
Okay, let me ask if there's any questions first. Are there any questions about anything that I went over?
다다텔라야 대세자주 콜라 트라이오스. I have a question. There's no limit of research papers they refer to, right?
There is no limit, but remember, you can only talk for 30 minutes.
Uh-huh.
So a very good practice in giving a presentation is to do a practice with your colleagues such that you know that how long the presentation is going to be.
Aha. 다다다데로 와치출라 가서 ngoma 대세자 담발라야 신직성이 진용탈았다고 그랬어요. 아니 단다고 체요레스 기자트임바 지금 망로라의 체요레스 망탈라 체요마레스 임바이나야 데 가서 Kamas masih omar was tinstabalaya ane ko pitapo tredupo ta natale remboch goyores rawata ischatan ge na koyang tamche chibi kapsu dus janter chibi kapsu ge thamla yaksuchi kares istambalaya ya susu go rokpa tan yam ta tampo jongdar chete ke chambucha goyores susu keshe chibi kapsu chito jun ranglo gorgudu telaya ane jongdar chete ke chambures.
Okay, so notice that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 times within our within this week that we have scheduled for working on your presentations in class.
Aha, that under dela yang atun zenda chopege da dantanding na zenda chopege kapsa dus chotan shi terwa tanda chesuge tamshi gala ya tanya la ya dus chukodu chishayes.
And so as you work on these presentations in class, both Aminda and I will be here to answer any questions. If you have questions about the research, if you want to ask us questions about how to do or put together the presentation, we are here as a resource for you.
That under Sotan did the Kapsa Chesuge, that under Tamsitilla Tadichigua, Zanatria della Tadichi Kapsa, Gala Tangarani to Sede against, and Kete Chesula Troyo Patan Hamaquatan, Shinjik Soitan Devi Kage, Pahamaqua, Lasopa Imbana, and Della Ropachi dead against.
Okay, so we have 9 presentations that will go over these 1, 2, 3, 4 class periods. And I'm wondering if anybody was interested in volunteering in going first. If not, we are going to do a random number generator and just have it choose by random.
Okay. Tadanda ngatsula ya tamse chiati nima thama nigi sotan nyo samba kapsa tamse chiari doa chetsugirwa tamse chiasana zenda chiari doa tadela ya ane chetsugna ne chi tangla yo es ngatsu tangpo dugi insani tinda tangla yo es yes, they want to go first.
We have two groups who want to go first.
First and second, group number 8 and 4.
8 and 4.
4 and 8.
Okay.
8 first, 4 second.
Okay, 4 and 8 are going to go on this day. We'll take the rest of the numbers and then assign them.
8. First
What?
is 8. Group
4
number 8.
and 8.
Yeah.
Yes.
8 and 4.
Yes. And then for the rest of the groups, we're going to randomly assign their time. Oh, okay.
8, then courage is group number 2 and
Carmen, we can have 3 go on this day.
Ta inda tampo te sas anyo te la ya. Ta serious. Tampo khusula bacha sa.
Very unlike
jila
what
phali
happens
te
in the
chama
United
sa.
States.
Yeah, everybody want to go first. So good.
Well, it sounds like we have to do a random number generator to even just decide because everybody wants to go first.
Yeah,
Yeah?
ta nga sa ni sarwa. Shenda dung na ne tanda nima tampo te la ya ta chota tampo te cha swa. Chota niba te chota nya ka cha so chota samba kapsa ka so yore. Chota samba ra chigin senya. Lapa chi chana de gre dosi chi gane lapa chi chanda ya ji ni sum shi nga trig da trig. Just only one group is not showing the hand. Otherwise, like all other 6 groups want to go for on the third period, in the afternoon on the first day. Yeah.
Do they know they still have to come the next day and listen?
Yeah, of course. Trio marje da, trio mare. Te mambu do, sama do, manse shiri da. Jenjara, chetsuma nima nyola dugu ba.
Random numbers?
Yeah, random number. Yes.
Random. What?
Tampo de shashash. Tampo shota jepa sha. Mama. Sama je jamare dunya shaya re. Mama. This should stay because they just this should stay 1 hour. When we ask them who want to go first, they are the first to. Yeah.
So we'll generate the rest.
Yes.
Okay, so hang on.
It's okay. We can just take out 4 and 8 from there.
Okay, so the next one is 2. Group 2.
Group number 2, Chisilesa. 5. 7. 7 go up.
7 can go on this day.
Yeah.
6? Wait, skip.
Yeah, 5 skip.
9. 2 left. Oh, whoever's left. 1 and 3.
There we go.
All good?
That's the order.
We'll post that to the Google Classroom.
That's us. Chisukatsura Sumbara.
Okay, get to work.
Last yes. Jigda Yabujeshan did that.
All right, so it's now work time.
Okay. Talika Chesure Sra. Any tea kasa. Any Chesula di Chigumdo, Kashi Kasanga de Kurajas Tambalaya, research paper Tilaya, Loyalaya, Pishateguado, Tinero Chigudwa. Kangatasuna, Kisha to the Gela Kusangichi Labkorwa. This is what? Talika Chesa, Seuchasa.
Tamsha Kamasum Junior.
Keju Yomare. Kamasum round there. Kejung has downloaded the Kejur Gurwa. That be the correct.